All right, what is up, THPStrength squad? I need to be in the video, John. This is episode 34. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A. If you guys don't know, on my story, I always post like the little question things, and I'm going to be reading off of them. We're going to be going through them pretty quick because there are a lot of questions. We're even going to be answering the stupid questions, so that you guys can realize they're stupid questions. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get it started. First question, this is Josh Dunks, and he's saying, I'm 5'9", just under 200 pounds. I'm lean, but do I need to drop weight to maximize my jumping?
I would say that it's functional muscle mass. So if you have mass that's non-functional, fat or muscle, still non-functional, you need to lose that mass. So if you're a jumper, a two-leg jumper, upper body mass can be useful because it helps you raise your center of mass to take off. You also can, with the arm swing, there's a reaction force that causes the ground reaction force to go up. So it can be functional. But, I mean, I'd say like a lot of core mass, a lot of lat mass, chest, that stuff doesn't really have too much use. If your arms are too big, that's not very useful. Quads, hamstrings, calves, those things can be hips. Those are all, in my opinion, functional mass.
All right. Athletic Pete, does masturbation affect vertical and performance?
Is that my answer or your answer?
You answer it.
It does if you think it does. There's a research on the way that sex impacts performance. And basically what they found is like if you have guilt or shame, maybe because you're a Christian or something like that, and you believe in saving yourself for marriage and that stresses you out, whether it's masturbation or it's having sex or looking at pornography, whatever it is, then you'll obviously see a decrease in performance because that stress is going to make it harder for you to adapt. If you don't think there's anything wrong with those things, you don't feel guilty, you'll actually recover better. Or maybe equivalently. I think it maybe even it's a little bit better because it's it's relieving or relaxing for your body. I need to get a charger. Go ahead, go on. Next question.
All right. Do you think you will ever, or this is Khalil Dunks, do you think you will ever be healthy enough to jump off your left leg again at 100%?
What's the point? Why would you need
Honestly, I think I'm healthy enough to jump with my left leg 100%. The question is, would I be able to sustain that? Probably not for a long time.
Yeah, it's a cost-benefit analysis.
There's really zero reason for me to be jumping off my left leg. Am I ever going to do dunk contest dunks on my left leg? No. So what's the point of doing left leg dunks? Literally just because it would be fun. And would I be having more fun hurt or healthy? Healthy. So should I do 1 foot dunks? No. All right. Jose Alvarez. He asks, also he is one of our clients. Shout out to Jose Alvarez. It would be nice for people to know a little about why your bodyweight quarantine training is working. Jose Alvarez has personally gained a lot on the bodyweight program during quarantine. His vert literally shot up doing the bodyweight program. So, John, you want to give a brief overview on why the bodyweight training works?
Yeah. So I kind of anticipated that gyms would close, and I wanted to make a program, sit down, put all of my mental energy towards it, which honestly I never really had done for bodyweight programs because I would tend to trend more towards using a weight room. Not that you can't use your body weight to get really high quality training in, because that's just not true. So yeah, the reason it works, it's cycled. That's one reason why, and it's periodized. I'd say that's probably the biggest reason why it does work, is that there's systematic progression in it. There's variety, there's specificity. It has all the elements that you need to have in a good training program. So, you're addressing strength in the first 3 cycles pretty heavily, but you're not really it's conjugate, long sequence conjugate systems. So it addresses everything, but in varying degrees. And so progressively as you move through, you get higher velocities off the ground, and jumps. You have shorter ground contact times. You have more specific plyometrics for jumping that you've prepared for and progressed up to. The sprint volume, is going to increase a little bit. So all those things are elements of the training and why it's been really effective. We've seen Zeus get better with it. We've seen CJ get better with it. We've seen CJ have basically his highest jumps ever on the bodyweight program, actually, or since basically he hurt his knee, at least, for sure. Zeus is jumping higher than ever, leaner than ever. We've seen Jose Alvarez. We've seen tons of people get their first dunks on it. I think Steven Chioda, maybe. I don't. There's like a bunch of people. I couldn't even name them off the top of my head. I don't share a lot of the progress with it, but it works, and it works because all the important elements of a program are there. So
sick. All right, Steven Dunks _ This isn't Steven Selly. It's another.
I was so confused.
Steven
I was
Dunks.
like, I just talked to Steven Selly today.
How do you know when someone hits their genetic limit for jumping?
You don't. How would you know? Like, you don't. Just keep working, and I think that's a silly question, right? Because it's like, why would you even? Like, you're just going to quit because you've quote-unquote reached your genetic potential. That to me is just stupid because, one, you don't know when you've reached your genetic potential. Just keep pushing. Like, don't just stop, train smarter, train harder, eat better, sleep better, do all those things.
I don't think it's possible to reach your genetic limit. There's too many factors.
There's so many. Actually, I would agree with that. There's so many variables. Like, can you live in a bubble where everything's perfect for your entire life and train perfectly? Probably not. Can you never get hurt? Probably
technically,
not.
if you don't start training at an extremely young age and optimize everything from the very beginning, you've already not been able to hit your genetic limit.
Exactly. Nurture and nature has not been optimized. I think it's just train harder, train smarter. I don't know. I hate that question.
Yeah. All right. Junior asks, if you could describe the feeling of dunking to someone who can't dunk, how would you?
Pop. I don't know. You pop off the floor, you pop that shit into the rim, and it feels like adrenaline. You just feel like a beast. You feel like an athletic specimen. You feel like you're better than everyone else around you. That's maybe the best way I can describe it.
For me, I would say it's like the approach is just smooth, effortless. You're not thinking. And then it turns into just violence and aggression.
Yeah. 1 foot's different. Like, 1 foot, it's like a rhythm. Like, when I'm jumping my best off 1 foot, it's smooth. I would say, like, you feel like you're flying. Like, it feels like your velocity, it's effortless. You don't usually feel anything in your tendons, your knees, your muscles. It's just like this smooth takeoff where your body just transitions into the air really quickly.
Yeah. I would say more like the actual dunk itself.
Oh, really?
For me, it's violence and aggression. Like,
okay.
I'm trying to just break the fucking rim.
I think for me, like, actual dunks, it's like I always tell people, honestly, as a 1 footer where everything has to be perfectly aligned. Isaiah's realized this more watching me and Austin Eli and a lot of 1 footers jump right now that aren't like Jordan Sutherland. It's like hitting a bullseye with a dart. Like, your speed has to be perfect. You have to be the right amount of lowering. Your steps have to be right on. Your arm swing has to be synced up with your leg swing. The lob has to be perfect. Like, I don't know. It's like everything just is like aligned perfectly for 1 foot dunks to get your best 1 foot jumps with your best 1 foot dunks, if that makes sense. Like, you could have a great jump and just like it's easier to miss the dunk off one. You might have overjumped the ball. You just have more velocity horizontally, so it's tougher.
Most embarrassing moment as a dunker. Oh, this one's tough. Hold on, this one is tough. Hold on, I'm gonna have you answer the next question because it's related to you, and then I'm gonna think about what my most embarrassing moment is.
What's the question?
If you could coach one pro athlete to increase their vert 2 inches, who would it be and why?
Cammy Colville.
And how high do you think you would actually realistically help them jump? How much higher?
So I get to coach one athlete.
Yeah.
And I can increase their vertical as much as I want potentially. Is that it? I think I would. I like to let the people that are already elite keep doing what they're doing because it's working for them. Like, I wouldn't want to change anything that they're doing unless they came to me and they're like, this isn't working for me anymore. I'm getting hurt. I can't jump. Like, stuff like that. I would want to work with them at that point. But like, if it's not broke, don't fix it is kind of one thing that I say about training. So I think, I'm working with a lot of the athletes. Like, it's a dream come true for me to coach Isaiah, to coach Zeus, to coach CJ. I like coaching jumpers that want me to help them more than anything else. But if I could coach one pro athlete that I think I could really, really, really help, man, that's tough. I think Jordan Westner, if Jordan Westner would let me help him and let me coach him, I think I could make him freakier for sure. Just because his training is so minimal. Like, he hasn't really ever trained his entire life. But I would also get scared because, like, I don't know if maybe if he trained harder, he would just get hurt. Like, I don't know. That's like a tricky question. That's tough. I don't know, man. Pro athlete, dude, they're all freaks at that level. You gotta understand that. All those guys, like, they basically are so gifted they don't even have to train. They're going to jump higher or run faster. Like I don't know what they do well enough to say for sure like which ones I would pick to work with. I think it would be cool to just the clout to say, oh, I coach LeBron or I coach whatever. But in terms of like realistically improving their vertical and stuff, like where the rubber meets the road, it wouldn't be as simple as you think. Like I'd pick pro dunkers to coach. Like I'd pick someone like Isaiah or CJ or whatever else, like as my pro athlete. Like even high jumpers, you have to understand like at that level, they've already done things for like 20 plus or probably 10 to 15 plus years to get to that point. Like they're probably not going to trust you. They probably aren't going to buy into it. Their vertical is really high already. So you're mostly just going to be focused on like keeping them healthier. I mean, there's just like, I want to coach people that want me to coach them and trust me. That's what I would say. Like, I don't even like, I don't know. It's like, at first I like that question, but I don't even know. I have projects. I don't pick like favorite, like I don't even like working with pros because like they're almost already pre-molded. Like it's so hard to take them out of their preconceived notions and like make them better, Like they're already like, this is what works for me. This is what I'm going to do. You're mostly just managing them. Like collegiate freshmen that come in that are good, but not great, but have a lot of potential. Those are my favorite athletes to coach. Right now, I'd say my project is Cami Colville. I'm getting Cami. I want Cami to dunk at 5'5" off 1 foot as a speed jumper on like 10 foot all the time. Like I want him to body people. I think that'd be sick. That's my current project. Isaiah, do you have one?
I've been thinking about the other question.
All right, answer the other question.
And the other question, I have no answer really. I haven't really had like an embarrassing moment as a dunker. But I have had disappointing moments as a dunker or like failures as a dunker. One of my biggest ones, actually, like this might be like my biggest one, is not getting a dunk, like an in-game dunk, during my senior year of high school. I was never able to dunk in game. I was like starting to be able to do windmills. I could dunk off the dribble, lobs, two-handers, all that stuff. But it was very different to do it in game because there's so much speed going into it. There's good defense. Like I played at a good high school. It was very competitive. So it was very different dunking in game. And I remember one moment, it was during our televised game, and like I had been trying to get an in-game dunk like all season. Like I remember I would go try it and like rim stuff it or like back rim it, and then my coach would take me out because like obviously it's not a high percentage shot unless you can make dunks. It's not a high percentage shot. And I remember during this televised game, I got the steal and I had open lane. Like this is like literally the best like scenario to get an in-game dunk that I had. And then I went up, and then like last second, like I was up there, and I was like, no, I'm gonna lay it up, and like I laid it up, and then I remember like my whole team on the bench were like disappointed in me because like they wanted me to get the dunk. And then, yeah, it's always been a moment I've looked back. I'm like, damn, like, I wish I would have done that. So, yeah, that's always, like, really disappointing. And then...
Basketball coaches suck cock.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just because they literally are like, I'll pull you out if you miss a shot. Like, that's just halts your development. Stupid.
And then Dunk King, season 2, missing my double up. I had practiced it for months to get it consistent, and then I missed it at Dunk King. That was disappointing. And then Dunk League... that was probably, honestly, Dunk League was probably my most embarrassing moment as a dunker because, it felt like I gave up. Like, I remember going against Michael Purdy in the elimination round. I remember thinking, like, oh, I can make this dunk and beat him. And then I was like, but I don't feel like continuing with this dunk contest. My knees, like, hurting too much. I was such in, like, a bad mindset mentally that, like, I remember it was 360 windmills. We had a windmill round. That was the elimination dunk. Like, we had to do a windmill variation. And... I remember Purdy did like an easy one, and it would have been easy to make a 360 windmill. I was consistent at the time, and like, I don't know, I just held back just a bit and like back rimmed it, and then yeah, I was like, it was a very embarrassing moment for myself. And then obviously when it aired later on, like I got a lot of like backlash for not trying like in that moment.
So just so you guys know, Isaiah, it is painful for him to watch Dunk League. Like, he can't watch it. We couldn't finish doing the reviews with CJ because it was so painful for him to watch and just be like, this sucks. Like, I don't even want to see this right now. Because if you're 20 times better and you're going back and watching that, like, it isn't almost embarrassing. Like, you're like, dude, I would destroy this now. Like, I want every opportunity to show that I'm so much better. So I would say that your most embarrassing moment is watching Dunk League now.
Yeah.
Like after the fact, 2
Yeah.
3 years.
And it sucks because there's so many people that are like inspired by it. Like I get a lot of like younger guys like, oh, like I saw you in Dunk League, like you're one of my favorite dunkers on there and stuff. And like I don't know, it's just tough to like hear that stuff and just be like what. Like one, I was like super hurt too. I was not as good.
My first form.
Yeah. So
Real
I don't know.
quick,
That's probably most embarrassing. I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say I think I've watched it with you and you seem to be embarrassed by it. Like you're like, this sucks. I don't
Yeah.
Oh, to answer the question, I was thinking about it more. I think I would pick Jordan Wester. I would pick Jordan Wester as my pro athlete. I was thinking about people that would be willing to do it that aren't like totally bought in, that have like not trained super well. Or I was thinking about a pro athlete that I could increase their vertical, would be realistic to do, that would be fun to coach, that they would buy into what I was doing. And Jordan was like one of the only people I could think of. Like every basketball player is not going to do shit that you say. You're playing basketball. I don't care about that. Pro dunkers are another great cohort. That's why I generally gravitate towards those people.
Yeah. All right. Next few questions are kind of subpar. Bro, does bounding exercise make you bouncy? I'm not gonna say the names because I don't want to call it. Does bounding exercise make you bouncy? Yes. How can I improve my vertical jump at home with no equipment? Go to THPStrength.com and buy any of the tiers jump training. We can modify it to be done at home. Also, check out on YouTube my video about home training. Talk about no fat. Anthony.trains.
That's hilarious. There's no research on it. I've kind of already discussed this. Didn't I discuss this last podcast?
I'm on day 19 of NoFap right now.
Proud of him
I'm literally doing it as a discipline thing at this point. Like,
yeah.
And to not watch porn.
Probably. Good goals. Discuss it. I think I talked about it last time, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, listen to the last podcast.
Does the calf play a big role in vertical jump?
Yes.
Yes. During your run up, do you get as tall as you can?
As a 1 foot jumper, you transition. So you start at a very slight lean, but you're mostly upright on the balls of the feet, and you transition backwards, leaning back. That's usually from 3 steps. Actually, that's every single jump, like basically. Yeah.
All right. Elizo Crew 68 asks, "What inspired you to dunk?" First, go check out
Jordan.
Check out my 24 to 36 inch vert video. I feel like that's a good overview of what inspired me to dunk. But short answer, it's my favorite part of basketball. Second, I want to be the best dunker on the planet. Do you train legs every day? Technically, yeah.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, train legs every day.
Hard.
Can you put my basket video on your story?
No. Sorry.
Generally, if you have to ask, I'm not going to put
Exactly.
Yeah. I share a lot of stuff on my story. None of the people that I ever share on my story ask me to put them on the story.
Yeah.
It's stuff that I found cool, different skill levels I saw. If I see someone working hard, I'll put it. But if you ask me, you just lost your chance. Buddy.
Yeah, maybe if you if you work with, you have to understand, like, if we're putting something on our story, we're endorsing it. Like, we can't just throw something up on our story casually and like it.
It's literally worth like $200.
Yeah, no, it's probably worth like.
I'm just saying when I get sponsorships and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, it's $200 story post.
Yeah,
flat out.
And for me, like, it's worth more than that. I won't endorse something unless I believe in it. I basically won't endorse anything unless I actually believe in it. That's that's like what I would say generally about myself. That's how valuable my endorsement is.
If you want some tips on how to get posted by me anywhere or like have me support you, 1, you have to be passionate about what you do. 2, progress. I love progress. It's one of my favorite things. 3, do something nasty. Like something really nasty.
For me, it's science. Show me something I haven't seen before. That is scientific.
We're actually a little past halfway on the questions.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. What got you into playing basketball? For me, I don't know. My parents signed me up in 4th grade. I was a really hyperactive kid growing up, like really annoying, just too much energy. They put me in basketball and just fell in love with it. Just started playing it a lot, and it was my favorite sport.
I watched an NBA game with my uncles, and they told me I said I wanted to do that someday. And they said, "You'll never do that someday. You're white and you're too short." That's literally what they told me.
Jeez.
Yeah, they crushed my dreams when I was about 5.
Jeez.
I still play basketball, but in the back of my head, I was like, I'll never be a basketball player.
Damn.
Shout out parenting.
That's crazy.
Crush your kids' dreams. They'll prove you wrong.
That's crazy. All right. What's your vertical goal? 50 inches on a vertec.
I'd say a legit 40. So like touching right now, my left leg is touching 11.4, and then high jumping 6.6 on my right leg. Those are my current goals.
Josie, I'm a big fan. Can you please give me a weekly routine of jump training plus weightlifting? Yes, we can do that for you. If you go to THPStrength.com, go to the Get a Coach tab, and choose the tier that you want to purchase.
You guys, people asking that question, I go into like a Ferrari dealership and just be like, hey, can you give me a free Ferrari Can you just give me a free Ferrari? It's like asking them that and see what they say. I know it's an extreme, but like that's basically what you're doing. You're just like hitting us up because you're like, oh, this should be free. I'm going to ask for it. And it's like, no.
Best 3 exercises to jump higher. I would say that go to my YouTube. I have about like 100 exercises I've posted on my YouTube. They're all important. All right, there isn't a top 3, the one most important.
Go to the FAQ page on THPStrength.com.
Yes.
Those of you listening to this, honestly, probably already know how we're going to answer that question before we answer it, because if you're listening to this, you're actually like, you're like an OG.
Yeah.
You probably pay attention to everything that we do. So like, you know what our answer for that is going to be.
These people probably won't even listen to the podcast.
No, they won't. They're literally just like, I wonder if I'll answer my question. I'm a huge fan.
Like, all right. What's your vert? My vert right now, my highest ever was 47.5. But my reach was 8.5 inches at the time. So I would say it's more like 47 at the very, very tippy top.
Yeah. That's not cheating. Like we made a video on one of the YouTube videos where we talked about like reach and stuff, and like if you elevate your rib cage, you can make you elevate your scap, elevate your rib cage. You can make it look like you're reaching and you're not. Like Isaiah could test a 50 right now.
Yeah. I
could finesse the shit out of his reach and make him test 50. All I'd have to do is like make him short arm the reach, and he'd do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to do that because we're not cheeky little bastards. No! Oh, sorry. I thought it closed out. We're good.
What's your vert? Oh, wait. And then right now it's like 45, 46. I would say that's my like average, like when I'm in the middle of training.
I can consistently touch 11.1 on my left leg. That's like a legit 11.1. So, I would say like my best ever. I think I probably could touch like, I think it was close to 40, my best ever rate. On any given day, I can hit 36 for sure. I don't know. I think, bro, I don't know. I seriously don't know. I think right now it's probably like between 37.5 and 40. Like you have to understand, 1 foot jumping again is like hitting a bullseye. Like it's not like this thing where it's like just any given day you just walk out and you're like, boom, I can hit within an inch or two. Like you have your cluster, but then my outlier days, I think probably close to 40, but I don't know if I've ever hit it. I think I'm going to hit it very soon, especially after this training cycle.
Yeah. What your liked country? I don't know what he's asking. Yeah, I don't know what your liked country.
Real quick, on the vertical thing, if people say they have a given vertical, take it with a grain of salt. Grain of sand? Grain of salt.
Just take away like 3 inches from that
basically,
number.
like just look at their dunks and look how tall they are and look at how long their arms are and look at it. Like, does the rim look like they're 10 foot for their height? Okay, it does. All right, do they look like they're jumping high? Yes. All right, well, they probably have a high vertical. Can they elbow? If they can't elbow, they sure shit can't touch 11.3, 11.4. Like, I promise you that. They just can't. And so, like, if like a windmill takes probably, to windmill, you got to be able to touch like 10.10, I think, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I windmilled when I was touching 11.
So I would say that's about right. Like something like that. On 10 feet. That'd be on 10 feet.
Yeah.
So, like, if they're windmilling on that, like a good extension windmill, I would say like 11-ish. Like between the legs probably takes like 11.2, 11.3, I think, as like a 2 foot jumper. So 1 foot jumper, maybe 11. Yeah, probably around the same. And like if they can't do those dunks on 10 feet, like they've never done it, they sure as shit can't touch those 11.3, 11.4 marks. So like don't like look at like just look at their dunks, look at what they can do, and like that'll tell you something. If someone claims they have a 43-inch vertical and they're 6'1", they should be able to like do a double, like not a double elbow, but they'd basically be able to touch like 11.6 or something like that, which is like
for enough. What?
If you say if you're 6 foot and you say you have a 43-inch vertical, like a legit 43-inch vertical, you probably can touch like 11.6. For perspective, like Jordan touched 11.9.5 or 11.9 1/4, and he has shorter arms. Like You a legit 43-inch vertical if you're 6 foot. What dunks do you think you could do? You could do a lot of dunks with think about
that's what my vertical was from like 2016 to 2018. It was like a 43.
Yeah, every dunk he could do. So if
and I hit a 360 East Bay. I hit behind the backs, East Bays, elbows, all that stuff.
Just keep that in your mind.
And most people are dunking on like 910. So then if you have a 43-inch vertical legit, if you're on a 910, which most people are dunking on on that 910 rim, then now you're able to do even more stuff. Like you could like double elbow and that type of thing.
Yeah. So just your favorite whatever.
And if somebody
jumper you're following that says they can do that, and they're 6 foot, and I'm telling you.
And if somebody has like a 48-inch vertical, like if someone says they have like a 48-inch vertical and they're like 6 foot, that's literally elite. Like that's like the top pro dunkers.
Yeah.
Not even the top pro dunkers don't even have
exactly
a legit like 48-inch.
Like if you have a 48-inch vertical and you're 6 foot, you literally should be able to get your freaking nose to the rim. Like, like maybe more or something. Like, I don't even know. It's not as simple as just adding your head. Like, it's not 6 foot to the top of your head. That's not how it works. Like, 48-inch vert, you'd be able to get, at 6 foot, you'd be able to get, like, your eyes.
Yeah, like a 48-inch, like, tested on the vert.
On 10 feet. On 10 feet, you'd be able to do that. With the ball in your hand. That's what you'd see. That's the sort of stuff you'd see.
Yeah. All right.
Quick rant. You know, we love rants here.
Hey, how to make my penultimate step more wide, like Jordan Kilgannon.
Fall off of the penultimate step, push off the penultimate step, leave the penultimate step behind your body, long split, film it, feel the foot on the ground a long time, lean forward slightly so your pelvis is an anterior tilt, you can get more hip extension. Those are all big cues.
HL Ford 04 asks, how long did it take for you to improve your patellar tendon health and strength? So I took 6 weeks off from any kind of jumping until I was able to start like doing like light box jumps again. And then
don't tell them everything.
Yeah, and then it took a year after. And then I was able to like get back into training regularly. And then it took a year after that until I didn't really have any pain with stuff. And then to this day, like I'll wake up sometimes, it'll be like a little sore. I'll just do ISOs and like chill out.
There's a lot to that though, because it's like he was like people think they hear that I'm like I can't jump for 2 years or whatever. I'll never be pain free. It wasn't like that. Like he was mostly pain free after like 6 to 8 weeks in jumping. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have pain jumping after 6 to 8 weeks. Like it might peak up in pain like a little later, but like we could manage it down to where he could jump and train hard with minimal pain.
And then there was a year of consistent just training like smart and managing my load. And then it just kept decreasing. And to this day, like you still have to manage load and it can continue getting stronger and stronger. It's not something where like one day you wake up and say, oh, my knees are healed, I'm good. Like, no, it's going to be a long-ass process. And it's going to be longer the longer you've had tendinopathy.
Yeah, and if you don't manage it incredibly intelligently.
How old were you when you got your first dunk? I was 16 in a few months. How old were you, John?
Me, I'm 26. Oh, when I got my first dunk? I was 14, 15. I was end of 14, just turning 15.
All right. How do I emit your energy? By going to THPStrength.com and getting our online coaching.
Watch Dragon Ball Z.
What is the best alimentation?
What?
That's like diet. I only know this because in Spanish, like diet is alimentación or something like that.
What's the best
diet?
The best diet?
Yeah.
The one where you're not getting fat. That's the one that's the best, where you maximize your lean mass and minimize your body fat.
Train. Prioritize training.
Train well. Yeah, prioritize fueling yourself to train.
If you're out of shape, can't train well, don't have good technique, all that stuff, you have like I would argue that you have more important priorities to take care of.
Yeah.
Like you should still be like, don't get me wrong, you should still focus on your diet, but it shouldn't be taking more stress and energy focusing on diet than your training.
Yeah, your diet is like so tertiary in my opinion if you're jump training.
Yeah.
Unless you're like severely overweight, then it's like more important. I would start with like being able to jog or ride a bike. Like,
what are your fitness goals? Shout out to Benny Fit. I guess I'll just answer like my lifting goals. It's weird. I'm like, I got no more bed. What's it called? Oh, my lifting goals. I want to do a back squat 405, like deep for 1 rep, and then 300 plus power clean. I feel like that would be amazing.
Oh, my fitness goals. I want to test a 40 on the Vertec, like get it on paper, have a video of it, and I want to. I don't know. And high jump, like those are my fitness goals. Like,
yeah. Can I dunk if I have a long calf?
Yeah.
Look at Connor Barth.
Look at me.
What is the best shoe for you?
We've been talking about that. This is a good question.
This is something that I've been trying to prioritize more. I do not care about shoes like whatsoever.
Should.
Because, like, look, growing up, I jumped. My first movement ever was in Nike Free Run Huaraches. There's no support. They're bendy.
It's also
no cushion.
It's also when you're jumping like 30 inches.
Yeah. So, like, and then I've always used, like, I've worn the hell out of basketball shoes. Like, if I buy a basketball shoe, and this is habits from when I was young, like, that shoe's gonna last me a year or two. I'm jumping in the same shoes I had in 2016. Literally the exact same shoes. These shoes that you see me doing dunk contests, my Kobe 10s, I've had it since 2016. I haven't changed my shoes. So, but I've been having posterior tib issues, and we think a big part of it could be the shoes. So we are trying to see if like a shoe will make a difference. John has some Adidas Crazy Explosive that I'm gonna use, and they feel good. So we're gonna see if that makes a difference. So. I can't really answer that question for you because, like, I don't, I don't know.
What was his question? What is the best
What's
shoe?
the best shoe for jumping?
So, like, this is a really good question. We've kind of answered this in a previous podcast. Actually, Matt and I talked about it, but there's different foams from different types of shoe companies. So, like, basically Adidas, if we just look at Adidas and Nike, just because they're the two most popular ones, their foams are obviously engineered in a lab or whatever, and like they're meant to do a lot of things biomechanically, but sometimes they will just err on the side of what looks cool versus maybe what's functional. So like generally if you're looking at function, the best foam in my opinion is probably going to be Boost. Like, just generally it's the best cushioning, whatever. It has the best, from my experience, it seems as though it has one of the best hysteresis measures, which is like the return that you get off of that. Hysteresis is really complex, and it's it's cyclic as well, and it just tells you like how much energy you get back essentially, or how much energy you lose. So Boost seems to be really good. If you encase Boost, it tends to really make it efficient, but then also that can cause problems up the chain or down the chain. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing is whether or not there's support where your arch is. So like that creates a lever basically for your foot, and then it also can stop your foot from compressing as much. Some people will say like, well, doesn't that take the elasticity out of the jump? And yeah, I mean, sometimes it maybe can, but like you also get the benefit of a super stiff axis that you can push up through. By the way, those arches, the Victory Sole things or whatever I don't even know what they're called.
Victory, yeah.
Yeah, like those are very soft actually relative to like an actual support in the arch that you would get like in a Crazy Explosive. Like those are stiff as shit. And like track spikes, actually, elite guys will get a carbon fiber plate in their shoe.
Jordan Kilgannon put a carbon fiber plate. Like this is like years ago when he first visited. He had one of those in his shoe.
Yeah, and if you're a 2-foot jumper, it's gonna help, especially with your plant foot probably. It'd probably help with both of them, but it's also gonna limit mobility, which might make it hard for you to get in certain positions and take advantage of your body's natural mechanisms for stretch shortening cycles and stuff. So for him right now, a good shoe is really important because we're building him back into where he doesn't need that shoe, but we're trying to train hard, train his nervous system, get all the loads we need. So that shoe could potentially decrease some of the load on that arch, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah. What do you do differently when jumping outdoors in terms of technique and approach? Me personally, I don't think about that whatsoever.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, maybe I have less room to run. That's it.
Yeah. One of my pet peeves is people making excuses for jumping outdoors. I always think if you got bounce, you got bounce. Like if you got bounce, yep. And then this is just like a pro dunker mentality. If they fly you out to an event on the other side of the planet, you don't know what hoop you're going to be dunking on. You just got to show up and jump.
It's so real. Like if sport core, it doesn't matter. You got to be ready to jump.
Yeah, so you just get your bounce up. Yeah, and then you'll be good.
Practice jumping on different surfaces if you don't. Just get used to it. Adapt.
Because it'll kill you. Like it'll kill you. This is for anybody that's gonna want to do a dunk competition in the future. you have to be able to jump in whatever surface. Don't get used to just jumping on the LA Fitness perfect hardwood floor that is 15 minutes away from your house. That's every day you have to go there, and you can only go there when the humidity is at a perfect like percentage and stuff like that. Like, nah, you just gotta.
If you want to be great, you need to be able to deal with tons of variability, and the flooring is one of them. Like, figure it out. Don't get hurt, but like figure it out.
Yeah. Top 5 tips for short dunkers.
Jump higher. That's the only tip.
2, jump higher. 3, jump higher. 4,
jump higher.
Jump
Get really strong. Jump harder. What do you think about this certain system that
don't say anything
that involves something that I can't talk about because it's not ethical? And next,
big squat equals big jump?
No, not always. Look at powerlifters.
Yep. In the beginning, I have to lift weights.
What? Oh, must.
Like when they first start training, do they have to lift?
No. Bodyweight program. There you go.
Can you do the 360 behind the back between the legs dunk again?
Yeah, on 10 feet.
Yes. After the whole mixtape fiasco, one of my goals is to get it on 10 feet.
Y'all don't realize like he was just like building up and he hit it. Like he wasn't even at max intensity. He wasn't even in his best shoes and he hit it. Like the stars were not aligned for that dunk to be hit on that day and he still hit it. Yeah,
that dunk. This is actually something I haven't talked about before. So I had back rimmed it actually on the 9.8 rim. I forgot what the LA Fitness was called. Goldenrod LA Fitness. I had got it over the rim on 9.8. When I got it over the rim, I was in like running shoes actually. I wasn't supposed to dunk that day. And then I was also like super fatigued from training. And then I got over the rim. I was like, holy shit, I could actually get this. Never posted the attempt. Went to Cali, posted the I believe somebody told Jimma about the dunk. And then I was like, damn, Jimma is the most gifted dunker on the planet. He might hit this. So I was like, okay, I gotta hit this like ASAP. And then I started practicing it, visualizing it every day. I got really obsessed with it.
Yeah, it was weird. I had to change his training because he was like, I gotta do this. And I was like, well, we were supposed to train, but like, if you want to hit this dunk, we'll do it for it or whatever. But
and then literally that next week, the next session, I was like, this has to be the session where I hit it. Like it has to be the session. I just felt so much pressure, and honestly, it was a lot of pressure that probably like in hindsight, like Jimmy wasn't gonna hit the dunk. Nobody else was probably gonna like try it and stuff, but I just built so much pressure into myself, and like I just practiced the hell out of it. Started lowering it for like hours every day, and then I was warming up. The floor was so in Florida it gets really humid, and when it gets humid, the water fed LA Fitness, the floors become like unplayable on. It literally feels like there's someone just spilled oil on the floor. And so it was super slick. And then in warm-ups, literally like my 5th attempt, I hit it. Like I wasn't even like jumping hard yet. And just went up, boom, hit it. And you can tell my approach. Like I didn't even approach it full speed or anything.
I asked him the other day, I was like, do you think you'll try to do that again or whatever, like just after all the beef or whatever? Like Neil was saying it was 9.7, which like we actually have a 9.7 rim here, and I was like, Isaiah, just for fun you should go casually hit the behind the back between the legs on this 9.7 rim.
Don't get me wrong, Nils measured the rim at 9.8 and a half.
Okay.
I measured it at 9.9. When I measured it, they had just installed it. Because, like, the rims get bent over time, so they had just installed it, so it was, like, 9.9 on the dot.
I mean, not to make... And, like, here's the reality is, like, he hates that he hit it on, like, that it was 9, that it wasn't 10. So, like, there's motivation for him to be like, all right, well, like, both of us kind of function this way, where you tell us we can't do something, you hate on us, whatever else, like, we'll just basically say, like, fuck you. Like, we're gonna... We'll do it better. We'll do better. We'll get better, and, like, it'll motivate us. Like, now he's motivated to hit it on 10. I'm motivated to hit it on 10. And I don't think there's no reason.
Only thing that sucks, so Neil measured at 9.8 and a half, and then I measured at 9.9. A lot of people, like, well, Grant specifically, he says it's like 9.7 to everybody, and then that gets spread around, and then people will be like, oh, it's 9.7, blah, blah, blah. So
that's why I said just casually go hit it on 9.7, like, easily, and then be like,
but
if it was 9.7, I would have got it right away.
But it's definitely a goal. Honestly, I would say that's my second goal is, like, touch 50, and then second goal is hit that dunk on 10 feet and, like, have it measured on camera and all that. So, yeah, that's two biggest goals. Who is the best dunker in the world, in your opinion, after you? Honestly, I wouldn't say I'm the best dunker, like, at the moment. Just in complete honesty. I think at one point, like, I was. But honestly, you have to... It fluctuates so much because, like, your vert fluctuates so much, your dunk technique fluctuates so much, all that stuff.
I think right now it's probably Sutherland, right?
I would say...
He's probably the healthiest.
Yeah, I would say Sutherland, honestly.
Right now?
Sutherland might be the most consistent. Like,
Yeah.
I would make a strong case he's the best dunker, like, period.
Yeah.
Like, at any given moment.
Like, you can take Sutherland in any scenario, and, like, he's going to kill it.
Yeah, like, any moment of the year. Like, you could be like, yo, Sutherland, like, dunk session.
And he'll kill it.
Yeah.
He's unreal. I honestly, I tell Isaiah this all the time. I'm like, the person we're preparing to beat is Jordan Sutherland Dunkley, because he is going to be on his game in every single contest. Like, as long as he doesn't break his hand or whatever.
All right, this question, who pushed you into dunks and dunk contests?
Chuck?
Yeah. This question's kind of weirded, a little weird.
Worded a little weird, not weirded a little weird.
I guess who gets me into dunk contests? It can be anybody. Dunking is very, like, unofficial. But yeah, it could be like Team Flight Brothers. It could be like Venice Beach. Like Dunk Elite. Just different kinds of people. Yeah, all over the place. How much time do you take to recover, bro, after the one workout? So this is also an interesting question because it's something people ask a lot. Like, how many rest days should you take after a workout? All that stuff. Our typical week,
hours.
our typical week.
Sometimes
we answered earlier. We work out legs every day. Our training is basically train really hard, train not as hard, train really hard, train not as hard. The only rest day is Sunday. Like, it's the only day where we, like, take off.
Sometimes, well, and even then we'll still do some stuff.
Like I'll do ISOs.
Yeah, there's no day. I would say honestly, there's no day that is, like, totally off. It's just like your body adapts and, like, the stress becomes easier to handle, and then you play with stress. Honestly, you manage stress, overall stress. Like, that is what you do as a coach. If you are a good coach, you manage stress. So for Isaiah, like, it's not like every 4 days I do that, or every 2 days. Like, people that make those hard, concrete, dogmatic statements, like, okay, maybe they're going based off of one study and, like, this is what you should do. But, like, that's one study. Maybe they had 20 people. And out of those 20 people, there was probably a huge variability. Like, for something to be concrete, there needs to be tons, like, mountains and mountains of evidence for someone to say conclusively, this is how long it takes. Like, and even then, there's probably still outliers. So, like, you really have to know, okay, look, here's the ranges for, like, generally everyone. These are also 20 other things that can help you determine within that range, where is this person at and what should they be doing. So, like, for me, having lived with him for the last now almost 2 weeks, I can pretty well tell, like, hey, this is what Isaiah looks like when he's fatigued. This is what his mood does. This is what his general levels of anxiety or excitement is. This is what will help him recover. This is will not help him recover. Like, I can kind of read those things at this point. So, like, for him, and like a jump session, if I wanted Isaiah to have a good jump session, I literally probably could just pull away training for, like, 1 or 2 days, and he could come out and have a killer session as long as he did, like, a shakeout the day before.
Yeah.
Like, I know his body well enough to be able to say pretty concretely that would happen. If he's, like, depending on the cycle, though, like, he's pretty much always going to have 24 hours about to, like, rest. Like, we don't do 2-a-days. I mean, we could do 2-a-days, actually. We could split the sprint session, the weight room session, but we don't usually do that.
All right, so I'm getting a lot of questions about specific jump programs, like specific books, specific whatever, like other people's training and stuff like that. This is all I'm going to say. I'm never going to answer those questions. I get a lot of DMs about this stuff. Our training is better. Get our training.
Yeah.
All right. It's going to be better than any other training that you see out there. If you can't afford our training, go to my YouTube. I post a bunch of workouts on there. Go to John's page. Read all his posts. Yeah, you could learn a ton from there.
Isaiah was sitting on there the other day, and he's like, man, I need to go back and read through these. Like,
and then the podcast. Just listen through all the podcasts. Okay?
For sure.
So, but our training is better than any jump program. I would bet everything in my life.
No. Well, like, this is literally the analogy I give to people all the time. Yeah, there's the Ford Pinto. You could buy a Chevy. You could buy like I said, 1970 Pinto. You get it for $100, whatever. It might not run, but, like, you get it. You could get a Chevy Malibu. You could get a Corvette. Actually, you could get whatever it is. Like, our goal is to be the supercar. We want to be the Formula One of what there's NASCARs out there, right? But NASCAR, in my opinion, the engineering is not as high as Formula One. Like, there's more money in Formula One. There's more engineering that goes into Formula One. There's better engineers that go into Formula One. Like, they are the tippy top of the iceberg, and they make the absolute best product, right? The fastest car around a track that winds and goes, and like they brake the fastest, they take bends the fastest, they accelerate the fastest. They're the best. Okay, so like that's basically what Isaiah and I are trying to do, and what we are shooting for. We want to be that. We don't want to be Corvette. We don't want to be like BMWs even, or even like a Porsche. We don't want to be like, I say we're the Ferrari or whatever, but it's like, okay, you know what? Let's take it to the next level. Like, let's be the winners of Formula One. Like, that's what we're shooting for. That's how high we want to climb up, and the quality that we're trying to give you. So like, do we have a bunch of free content? Yeah. We'll give you the Chevy Malibu for free. We'll give you the Ford Mustang for free, whatever. But if you want the absolute pinnacle of what you're trying to do, and you're going to understand the process, you're going to understand what goes into that, and you want to commit to it, that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah. All right. I think that might be a good place to cut it, to be honest.
45 minutes. I got to train the weather. It's really hella windy. We got to lift. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get my plows in today. I'm going to cry. I think I'm going to do it anyways after this.
Yeah. But hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on whatever listening platform you're on. Leave us a good review. Also, if you leave a review, screenshot it, tag us in the story. I will repost your story. If you leave us a review, again, tag us, screenshot it, tag us on your Instagram story, and I will repost it, all right? Thank you guys for listening. Let us know if you guys want us to do more of these Q&As. They're pretty fun, lighthearted, easy. And also make sure you listen to this episode on YouTube. Subscribe to John Evans. The podcast usually gets uploaded first, so I'm just gonna say it. Subscribe to John Evans. Look up John Evans speed jumping, and then you'll be able to find his YouTube. Subscribe. New episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Today's Friday. We missed yesterday by accident. Apologize for that, but yeah, we'll be good about uploading episodes 2 times a week. With that, I think we're ready. Good luck with you guys' training. Let's kill it. Have fun. Take it easy.
Peace.